So today we're talking about inheritance in Java. So inheritance in the real world is where like a parent passes a trait down to their offspring. For example, if let's say someone has blue eyes, they can say they inherited that from their mom or dad. It's pretty much the same thing in Java. So this is like my main class where I'm gonna run all my code from and create all my objects. And then I have a bank class. And the ATM class is gonna inherit everything from the bank class. So we could call the bank class like the parent class, like in the real example we gave, or the superclass. And then we call the ATM the subclass or like the child class. So bank is gonna pass everything in here, so the ATM class could use. And if we look at the bank class, we have like some things like a bank would have. You can see like your balance, you can see like your name and your ID number. Like everyone has a name. You probably have an ID number for your bank, and then you have to see your balance. And we have a couple setter methods to set our balance, set our name, and then set our ID num. And then this method right here just prints all our information. We could say it prints our name, our ID number, and how much money we have in our balance. So let's actually make like an object of the bank class. So this is gonna work normally because it has all the information in there. So let's say bank, call it Ruben's bank equals new bank. Now we're just making an object of the bank class. We've done this before. Now let's set let's set everything. We could say Ruben's bank dot set. We'll set our name first. I'll put my name as Ruben. That's my name. Ruben's bank dot, and then we'll set our ID num. Call it 20923. That's my area code, my favorite player. And then we'll set my my balance. How much money I got? I got a cool $5,000. So now everything's set, and now I could call the print method I made. You do Ruben's bank dot print info, and everything I passed into it, it should be passed back and formatted. So it's gonna be Ruben, my ID num, and my balance. So that's cool. We knew this is gonna work because everything's defined in the bank class. But if we go to the ATM class, there's literally nothing in there. So this is where inheritance comes in. In order to inherit something from the superclass or the parent class, we could say it extends, and then the name of the class, which in this case would be bank. So now pretty much think of this as a parent, right? Everything, all its traits are being passed down to the ATM class. So now if we make an ATM object, we could say ATM, can you spell my own name, Ruben's ATM equals new ATM. So in theory, we really shouldn't be able to do nothing with this class because there's nothing in there. But since it extends bank, we could use all the methods from the bank class. So I'll keep it the same way I had it here. So remember, I would do the Ruben's bank dot set name. I could do Ruben's ATM dot set name, and then I'll change my name to. I always go with LeBron. That's my favorite player, LeBron, right? And then remember how I said set ID number. I could do Ruben's ATM dot set ID number. So there's literally nothing in the ATM class, but we're inheriting all these like methods from the bank class, and all these variables we're inheriting them from like the bank class. And then let's see what else we could do. I'm gonna keep it the same as here, and then I could set LeBron's balance. Set balance. So LeBron's rich. He has $10,000, and then I could even call the print info method. Print info, and then if I run this, I should get a similar output to that, and I do. Let me just put like a new line so it's not all clumped together. And I'll have all these things, even though I have nothing in my ATM class. Everything I used was inherited. But an ATM is like, it's part of a bank, but it could also have like its own things. So we could say, how we do this? We could say, so like when you go to an ATM, you probably need to stick your debit card number, like your debit card in there. So we could do debit card, and then we'll make it an integer. It's gonna be your debit card number, right? And then you also, when you take money out, you need like a PIN. So we could do private int PIN. And now we need to create some like some setter methods. We do public void set debit card. Just because we inherit stuff from another class doesn't mean this class can't have its own methods. And then we could say it was an int. So we're gonna pass in an int and name it debit card. and set that equal to this dot debit card. Remember, this refers to these variables up here. Okay. And we can pretty much copy and paste this code. Instead, for debit card, we can make it for PIN. We can have set PIN. In PIN. Okay, now we have a way. Now we have a way to set our actual variables. And in the other class, in the bank class, we have like a print info method. So let's do something similar. We could do public void print ATM. And in there we could print our debit card info or our PIN info. So we could do, I would say debit card number, and we called it debit card. So just because we're inherit things from our other class, we could still have our own things in this class, our own methods. PIN number, and then plus, I think I called it PIN. So if we go back to our main class where the main method's at, so we could have, let's set the information, and let's set the new methods we have. With ATM dot set. So you see how we have the methods from the bank class, but we also made some new methods. We call it debit card. I'm not gonna put my real card, of course, but I'm gonna put 1 2 3 4 5 7 9. And then we can do the same to set the PIN. So now we have access to the methods in the bank class and the newly created methods we created in our ATM class. We could use both of them. And we'll make our PIN 1 2 3 4. And before we called print info, which was a method of the bank class, but we also created our own method called print ATM. So Ruben ATM dot print. You see how they both pop up? It's because the ATM class extends the bank class. Let's think of it as the ATM is a child of the bank class, and it inherited some traits from it. Dot print, and then we'll print ATM. So if we run the code again, we'll have everything that was inherited, which was this, and then we added its own methods in its own class in the ATM class, which was for the debit card number and for the PIN. So right here, we inherited those methods and those variables from the bank class. And these, we created ourselves. So that's pretty much inheritance. Actually, not too hard. Just think of it as a child inheriting something or being able to use something from their parent. Say an example would be, say you're LeBron James, right? You're going to let your son use your facilities, use your car, right? Because that's your offspring. So that's how I like to think about it. We say the ATM could use its methods, use its variable because it's an offspring of the bank class. So if this helped you at all, leave a like and subscribe. Still trying to hit 1,000 subs by the end of the year.